Assalamu alaikum students. We had started our first chapter, that is weather and climate, in the previous video. Today we will continue with the topic of weather forecast. There are 9 chief elements of weather forecast. They are temperature, air pressure, wind direction, wind strength, rainfall, humidity, sunshine and cloud cover. With the help of the weather forecast, humans can save themselves from the predicted dangers that might occur in future, and they can prepare themselves to have less damages, as well as they can take safety measures before a problematic situation takes place. Let's move on to the topic of elements of weather. There are 6 elements of weather. They are temperature, air pressure, wind, rainfall, evaporation and condensation. First one is temperature. Temperature is something which affects people in different ways. It is responsible for water vapor which is held by the temperature of the air. Next heading is air pressure. Air pressure is the weight of air which changes accordingly with the temperature of the air. Our next heading is wind. It contains 3 types. The first one is direction of wind. It defines the movement of air from high to low pressure. It may be hot, cold or rainy depending on the temperature. Number 2 is land and sea breezes. In the figure 1.8a, this figure, it is showing that how Karachi's air is less polluted than the other cities. Here it is written Lahore, and it is showing that sea breezes replaces the warm air which is rising from the low pressure of the industries in Karachi, and it turns it into the high pressure, and it replaces this warm air which makes Karachi less polluted, and the other cities like Lahore are facing disadvantage of not having a sea. While in this figure, that is 1.8b, it is showing that at night time it acts completely in a vice versa. It states that land breeze replaces the warm air which rises from the low pressure here, and it cools down the air which is here, which comes out from the industries in Karachi. Number 3 is the speed of wind. This is also dependent on the air pressure. Air can move from one area to another, resulting in being a strong wind, or it can be a gale. Let's move on to the next heading, that is rainfall. It states that rainfall and snow helps in getting fresh water, as it has its origin in the wells as well, which is later converted to filtered water. Our next heading is evaporation. This heading explains that evaporation converts water into water vapor. More water can be absorbed by the air if it is hot, while it reacts opposite in the cold weather. Our last heading for today is condensation. This picture is explaining the process of condensation. It explains that when the warm air meets the cold air and rises from the surface of the ground, it forms a cold cloud is formed, and sometimes it remains its temperature continues to be cold until rainfall occurs. Here, as you can see, the rain is falling. This cloud will be cold until the rainfall occurs. Now it's all for today. We'll continue with the topic of cyclone in the next part, inshallah. Must read the chapter for better understanding. Allah Hafiz.